One of the most basic ideas of game design is the idea that as the player becomes better at the game, they should receive more rewards and face bigger challenges. This cycle lets the player know that they are doing better and they should keep doing better. When you defeat a main story boss in Tears of the Kingdom, you are rewarded with a sage that basically acts as an assistant and who will help you in future battles. Well, kinda. When you find a true culprit in an Ace Attorney game, the story progresses and you get to see the culprit have an absolutely hilarious breakdown. These are the game's methods of keeping you playing by letting you know that, hey, if you keep playing, you'll get more of this. It's a concept that existed before video games even existed. I mean, why do you think so many people gamble? It's the risk and reward aspect. The more you risk, the more you're rewarded. So, tell me, why Splatoon 3 Salmon Run Next Wave completely fails at this? Recently, while I was scrolling through the hell pit known as Twitter, I saw a tweet talking about how casuals always complain about things like reaching the top 5% in Big Run and getting the gold and the extra work. And I basically agree with everything that's being said in this thread. But then something hit me when I saw another quote retweet from @Cassieland that said this: there is no reason to want to improve at Salmon Run when the rewards for playing more than half an hour are absolutely nothing other than maybe exhaustion. Nintendo want you to grind Salmon Run so much with Big Run and extra work and ridiculous scale prices, and you get nothing from all that grinding. And I was like, oh shit, that's right. There is no reason to improve and to be better at Salmon Run once you reach Executive VP. I mean, think about it. Everything I said in regards to the games incorporating risk and reward doesn't apply to Salmon Run. In fact, Salmon Run does the opposite. Instead of being rewarded for playing for longer, you are punished for it. Salmon Run rewards players with things such as money, special clothing, ability chunks, and food tickets. For lobby battles, of course. And you have the possibility of getting any of them until you get the super bonus. Of that, well, I hope you like getting the same clothing over and over again because that's all you're getting. Yeah, once you start scoring high, the game gives you less important items. The game is quite literally implying to the player that they should stop playing Salmon Run and go back to the lobby. It's kind of similar to Persona 5 when Morgana tells you to go to sleep. And I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, oh, Anarchy, I admit that's a little annoying not getting some extra money, but what do you mean it doesn't incentivize improvement? You're just exaggerating. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you heard a variant of someone saying, I'm just going to play until I get the super bonus? I've heard it in passing a lot, and I agree. Why would I play until I reach EVP 999, which, by the way, is not an easy task, if I'm not going to get anything from it besides a badge that basically acts as nothing but a sign to let people know, hey, yeah, I did that shit. Now, obviously, I'm not dunking on people who did get EVP 999 badge, and I'm obviously not saying that everyone should strive to be good enough to get it. I'm saying that it should be more of a driving force, a reason to get it. Now, some of you are probably thinking, but why should those who are already on the upper echelon of players strive to be better? Just because the game tells you that EVP is the best of the best doesn't mean that you are the best of the best. How many times have you seen players who don't know how to lure in bosses like scrappers and mauls? How many times have you seen people who don't know about the tide indicator at the beginning of every wave? How many times have you died in the first round? The reason people in Salmon Run aren't improving is because the game gives them no incentive to improve once they reach Executive VP. The average person doesn't strive to do better in life unless they have a reason to keep going and to be better. Same thing applies to Salmon Run. So how would I fix this? Let's get some things like super sea snails inside some of the capsules. And every time you reach a multiple of 100 in EVP, you get 3 super sea snails. And if you get to Executive VP 999, you get 5 sea snails and a golden Sheldon token. This is just a suggestion on my part, but it would solve the incentive issue, and it would also be a nice way to deal with the lack of sea snails in game. Hello, Danny Key from Post over here. So another reason why I made this video is because of a rumor going around that Big Run was going to introduce set rewards. I neglected to mention this in the script because I wasn't actually sure if it was actually true, but recently it was confirmed that it is indeed real. The Big Run rewards are now going to be predetermined instead of being based on percentage. Now, I'm kind of split on this choice. Because on one hand, the top 5% was getting harder and harder to reach in every single Big Run, but on the other hand, trying to get it, trying harder and harder to be better and get the gold in Big Run was an incentive to improve and to be better, and now that's gone. So once again I ask, what reason does a person have to improve themselves if Nintendo themselves doesn't want the players to improve? To conclude this video, I, like many people, love Salmon Run, and I want it to be more popular. But in order for that to happen, there needs to be an incentive, a reason to keep going and to keep playing. Because unless you really love Salmon Run and you really want that badge for your banner, it's just not worth the hassle. Oh wow, This video is shorter than I wanted it to be. Oh well, take care of yourselves.